everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Successful Women's TV show. My name is Galit Ventura Rosen. I am co-founder of Everyday Woman and a professional speaker and commercial real estate broker. One of my favorite things to do is spotlight women from all over the world that are out there teaching, mentoring, and inspiring others to live their best life. Today, I am very excited to have with me Maeli Nelson. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So we're going to be talking about a topic that's near and dear to my heart. We're going to have a lot of fun today. We're going to be talking about investing in real estate without your own money. Yes, be mind blown. It is possible. And Maeli's going to give us some direction to start. Obviously, it takes a little bit more than 15 minutes to teach you this, but I want you guys to learn a little bit more about what she does as a real estate investor coach. I'm going to share a little bit about her first, and then we'll jump right in. Maeli's incredible journey began in a restrictive religious cult, which I love your story because it's just so many people can relate to that upbringing and some kind of challenge that they've gone through, where she was taught that her only purpose in life was to cook, clean, and make babies. However, after her mother's escape sparked a glimmer of hope, and at 12 years old, Maeli finally had the chance to attend school. Maeli is on a mission today to help 10,000 women break free from the rat race and achieve generational prosperity. Woohoo! As an international speaker, real estate investor, top 500 agent, she's made a significant impact in the industry with a diverse portfolio of over 17 million in real estate, which I know you already have more than that. This must be an old bio, and a track record of 200 successful fixing flips. She is absolutely an expert in her field. So let's go.
So happy to be here. Thank you.
All right, Maeli, take us on this little journey.
Oh, gosh.
Talk to our ladies about how it is even possible and how they could get started today to be prepared to work with somebody like you to invest in real estate without their own money.
I love that. I mean, honestly, it can be as simple as just setting up a strategy call with us, and it's free. So it can be just as simple as that, just having a conversation, opening it up, jumping into our social medias, following what Gleed's doing. Like, there is so many resources that are right now available to you that are free, right? You can just jump right in and start learning the process. Our YouTube channel, which is Flipping with Mitch and Maeli, does give you a ton of information on exactly these topics, and we do talk about them all the time because it's such a sexy topic. Like, how can I possibly
really the first tip you're giving is educate yourself and know that there's people out there that know how to show you how to do this.
Yes. And that's the thing. You absolutely have to surround yourself around other people who are doing exactly what you want to be doing. There's no way you'll ever figure out how to do this legally, right? If you start messing around with other people's money, which is what you're going to need to do, right? There's a lot of rules and regulations that you do not want to be involved with, the FCC and, different violations. So come hang out with the people who know what they're doing.
Yes,
absolutely. You will be successful. So I'll jump in with just a little bit of a story, maybe an example of somehow someone right now that's listening would be like, oh, that's exactly my situation.
Yes.
So we'll start with there. I actually got started without using any of my own money or credit. And so I'll just tell my story. And I have hundreds of other stories to share of all of our wonderful women who have jumped in and are able to do this. But for the short call, I'll just share my story. So unfortunately, I was running a very successful solar company in California. And one day, so I was knocking doors for a living. That's what I did. I'd retired my husband for 4 years. So I was our only income earner. Unfortunately, I put all my eggs in one basket, which a lot of us business owners do. We're like all in on one of our business to be successful. But unfortunately, my left leg went paralyzed overnight. I was in a wheelchair then for 9 months, and our entire world collapsed on ourselves because I didn't have a diversifying income. If I wasn't knocking doors and I wasn't teaching my people how to do what they did, we didn't have money.
Yeah. That's a tough business all in itself.
Yeah. And so most business owners, right? You can relate because well, what if I lost my hand and I was a surgeon? What if there's so many scenarios that it's like, oh no, this is my livelihood. And if I lost it, what would I do?
Yeah.
Or if I talk to a lot of doctors, I talk to a lot of lawyers, I talk to a lot of just people who are successful at their business in general. And you have a specific art and it relies on you for the most part, would be my guess. And if something happened to you, what would happen to the business? Right? There's like the, oh no. So I knew after I did get back surgery, so I can walk again. It's not a sad story. Life was great. But during that 9 months, I recognized I needed to find a coach. I needed to find somebody that knew how to set up a scenario in my life that no matter whether I was sick, whether I was in bed, if I was in a wheelchair, or I was dead, I would still be making money. Right? And so that's why I'm so passionate about it. Real estate is that ticket. It really is that passive income, well-managed rental, because I'm not going to manage my rentals. That's not retirement. But a well-managed rental will pay you whether you're sick, if you're dead, or if you're in a wheelchair, right? Or if you're on vacation. Like, it's the best thing ever, right?
Yeah.
So that's the key, is to being like, okay, well, how in this market can I possibly pick up a real estate rental property and not have to use any of my own money and cash flow? It's a hard
Yes.
thing to figure out right now. So
Yes.
a couple of things I would say is seller financing. Learn all you possibly can about seller financing, and I'd love to help you. And you can consume other people's loans. There's a lot of hardship out there. Just like my story, I lost my house. I foreclosed on my home. Had someone like me or lead or somebody that, you're going to reach out to me, anybody on our team, they can reach out to you and say, hey, did you know there's a way for me to help you in your business or in your house? Right? You don't have to lose your house.
Right.
Like, it's exactly what I did. My first property actually was my second property. I found somebody that was about to lose their mortgage, right?
Okay.
They were going to foreclose on their house.
Okay.
I showed up and I said, I know that, what are you behind on your mortgage? And they said to me, after looking at all their numbers and really compiling their stuff, it was about $30,000 that they were behind. And if they didn't pay for it by X date, right, there's an auction date, they lose their house, they lose all their equity, they lose
They're losing their equity. They're messing up their credit.
credit.
And
Oh
it
my
also
God.
doesn't feel good.
It's bad. It's all the way bad, right? So I say you're still going to have to move, right? Because you were already planning on moving. But I think I can make this a lot more doable for your family, and you're not going to have that ding on your credit.
Okay.
So I'm going to get your house caught up. You're going to transfer title over to me in my name, right? And I'm going to pay that $30,000 so you don't have that anymore on your credit. And I'm going to make that payment every single month on time religiously. So it's going to bring up your credit, right?
Yes.
It's going to make your credit look so amazing here in the next 5 years. And
Right.
we're going to just do a 5-year note so that in 5 years, if you wanted to go buy a house, you can, because your credit looks fabulous. Everything looks good and you don't have a foreclosure. So you will be able to buy a house again if you wanted to. And in the meantime, I'm going to rent it out and I'm going to cash flow, right? And so then I took that, I put it under contract, I
Right.
set it all up. I took that contract and took it to some private investors that are in our group, right? And there's plenty of money out there, whether it's a 401, any type of retirement account, you can actually buy real estate with. What? I know it sounds crazy. Even your health savings account, people, you can buy real estate with. So anyway, there's so much money out there, and there's plenty of money in our group, right? So we have that scenario set up. I went to the group and I was like, help, right? I have this awesome contract. Who wants to do the deal with me? So I set up a joint venture agreement, didn't use any of my own money. I put a partner in. Right now we own the business together, and both of us cash flowed about $800 a month. So I got 400 and 400.
Amazing.
My first real estate deal, the second real estate deal I ever did, that's how and it's now obviously in hundreds of those since. But my favorite part is that I helped that family. I gave them an extra $2,000 in the contract, and they didn't know it, but I was able to pay for their first and last down payment on an apartment.
Wow.
Right?
So when you're talking about these scenarios, a lot of it really stems back to you need to have the education. You've got to do your homework. There's so much entailed. You want to be careful. Obviously, you got to know the contracts. You got to know the laws of the state that you live in. But in all honesty, this can be done anywhere.
Anywhere. Absolutely. We do it all over the nation, right?
Yeah.
Our group, we have about 2,700 people within our group that we've helped do this. And so far, I've helped about 1,000 women purchase their own rental property, which I'm so excited about. I want to do 10,000, so let's make this happen, right? I'm really passionate about it, and there are people who need your help. And right now more than ever, foreclosures are happening faster because finally, I shouldn't say finally, but the notes are being called due from when COVID happened. And so there's a huge influx because for the last 3 years, the banks couldn't call notes due. There were
all kinds of restrictions.
Right?
Yes.
There were so many constrictions. Now, though, they've opened up the floodgates and they want to get 8%. These people are locked in at 3%, right? and they're going, well, I'm just going to foreclose on them. Bam, that is gone.
Yeah.
Gone. They're closing those out fast. And it's because they want 8%, not 3% interest
And
rate.
that's where the opportunity comes for the seller financing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Because that right there makes all the difference in the world. I have a mortgage now where the payment is based on 3% or 4%. I know for a fact I can cash flow at that.
Oh yeah. Oh my God.
You're
Great.
trying
I
to buy
know.
a property right now with your own money or your own credit, or even if you were using other people's money and buying a traditional rental in this market at 8%, you're not cash flowing. You're not cash flowing. You're in the negative because rent rates are not up. They're not.
Yeah, they're not. No, and I don't see. Yeah. So some of the ways that you talk about is not just the seller financing, but you also talk about the fix and flips. I say that fast 3 times.
I know, right?
Fix and flips. You talk a little bit about that. I'd love to hear a little bit about that. Just the basic processes. So when people are going, oh, wow, I love that idea. That way they can reach out to you and say, I want to do this. This is so my thing. Some people really love that. They love that idea of going in, fixing up a house, putting in their personal touches, whatever.
Yes. And honestly, I mean, that's why our show is called Flippin' with Midge and Maeli. That is kind of our bread and butter.
Yeah.
But realistically, it's still a job. And so I do want to point that out.
Oh, yeah. It's all jobs.
It's still a job. Where, so our goal is to, for every 4, 5 fix and flips we do, we take all the money and we buy a rental with it. And that's how you build your rental portfolio, potentially. If you're excited about doing fix and flips, I still encourage you to buy rentals because that's the passive money where you're on vacation.
Yes.
Right? It's coming in. And
you're now owning a bunch of homes that are bringing you in money every month.
Yes. And so hopefully that's the end goal, right, for most. And I want to encourage that behavior. But yeah, fix and flips is so much fun. Oh my gosh, I love every part of it. And we create templates, which do make it so that you can do more than one at a time.
Yeah, you do a lot of the work for people with your programs where it's all just in this folder or in this whatever, the module where they can grab what they need.
Yes. Yeah. And that's so important because every market has, we call it Walmart, Nordstrom, we have Walmart, Target, and Nordstrom fix and flips. So depending on where you're investing in what area, right? If it's a lower income type family, those are the Walmart ones we call them. What's a different template? You're not putting in, $100,000 remodel. You'd never get your money back. So really learning the numbers, learning what to put into a home to get it to sell. Those are, just those basics is all you really need. And then you can put your own flair on it. And that's the fun part, right? It's obviously like, picking out the textiles and picking out the colors and having fun with it, but then really creating your own template for that scenario. Because if you're only doing one fix and flip at a time, also is probably not going to make you massive income. So more of a headache than it is probably, it'll be less of a passion project.
Okay.
Once you do 3 or 4 at a time, all of a sudden now it is a passion project. And now you can have fun with it because you're not doing any of the work. It's fun to do your first one. It's fun to do maybe your second one, and do all the work. But after the second or third, you'll be like, it's time for somebody else to do the work. I still want my design. I still want my
Right. And when somebody's thinking about possibly doing a fix and flip, what is happening with the finances that they need or the money that they need? What kind of advice or things can we share with them just to get a little bit of an insight to how they get those funds?
Sure. So like I mentioned a minute ago, there is so much money in 401ks, any type of retirement account. There is so much money, trillions of dollars just sitting there that people don't know that you can self-direct.
Okay.
Something that we really want to focus on is if you have, you have a job maybe, and you've had a job for the last 20 years, or your husband has a job and they've been working at it for a long time, you probably saved up a decent amount of money in your some type of retirement account. The great news is most people don't realize you can actually self-direct it. You can invest your money however you want to. You don't have to leave it with all the big companies, Merrill Lynch, all those companies. You don't have to do that. They're putting their money in the stock market and it's giving you a really safe return, right? Ish. Still can go to zero. And some of you are losing money right now like crazy. A lot of people it's a huge influx of people going, I don't want to be in the stock market anymore. I want a different type of diversity and maybe leave some there, right? But I want a different tangible type of diversity. Real estate is the most tangible, evident thing that you can invest in
For
because
sure.
it'll never be worth zero, right? It'll always be worth at least the dirt that it's on.
Yes.
It's
Agreed.
not a game
Agreed.
stock, right? It's not any of those that have fallen and are worth zero now. That's so tangible, and the upside of inflation and just market trends and market value, it always goes up. So it is a really safe bet. Most of our people that are investing in our fix and flips using their self-directed IRAs, health savings accounts, whatever it is, are getting a return anywhere between 20 and 40%.
Amazing.
Right? But that means, and you could be a hard money loan lender too, and that's
Mhm.
more around 12%, and that's a way safer. I mean,
Mhm.
that's a really safe bet when it comes to real estate. But being a private and doing a joint venture with someone like us, or you, or whoever, doing something like that can absolutely give you a huge return on your investment. Now, I will say that I'm not raising anybody's money on this call. So legally, that is not
Yes.
an option.
We're just
We're not raising
sharing
people's money here.
we're just sharing
There.
experiences, and we're just sharing with you ways that you can invest in real estate without your own money.
Yes.
So we're going to disclosure
Yeah.
because Maeli and I are both licensed real estate agents, and
Yes.
we're just talking in general.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say, please don't go out and try this on your own. No, I'm just
Yes.
going to say,
Like results very, and you want to surround yourself with people that know the laws, because you can't actually raise money publicly. That is not
right.
acceptable. You can't go into Facebook groups. You can't go blast out in emails like, "Oh, I have this awesome property, and hey, who wants to do this deal with me?" You actually can't do that. You've got to have the property, have it under contract, and then individually go out and talk to people. But we want to show you all the rules. It's not hard though. Once you learn the strategies of how to raise money using other people's money, it literally will blow your mind how easy it is. Because
Yes, and it's just that knowledge again. So wrapping up, because I want you to tell everybody how they can get a hold of you, how they can learn more about you. Really educate yourself. Surround yourself with people that are already doing this, that know how to do it, because man, it becomes expensive mistakes. Like, avoid those mistakes. Find the support that you need to do it, and recognize that it's available probably is the best, right?
100%. And
Oh, yay.
you nailed it. Good job.
Thank you, Maeli. Thank you for taking us through. I know it was just a little tidbit of it, but we're hoping to have you put on a class for our group. And anybody else that wants to learn more about this, please tell them how to get a hold of you, because this is what you do. You help people do this.
Yes, that's my full-time jam. And really, that's what it was. One morning, we had a coach that said to, right, we even have a coach, right? One morning, one of my coaches said, one day you're going to wake up and you're going to say that money doesn't motivate you to get up in the morning. I thought, no, it won't. All right. No, it won't. But it's true. One morning, my husband and I woke up and was like, we're set. Like, we don't need to do anything anymore. We don't need to do fix and flips. We don't need to do any of that stuff anymore. We're good. And then an aha moment happened where it's like, no, it's not why we do what we do anymore. It's to help others do and create and
I
become
love that.
what we have. And so everything we do all day long, we are here for you. And so please reach out to us. Jump on our TV or our YouTube channel. So it's Flippin, Fippin, with Mitch and Maeli, Maeli. Okay. So jump on there. You can just go to mitchandmaeli.com and it'll show you everything that we've got, right? What classes are coming up, what webinars are coming up, all the ins and outs. But go to our YouTube channel. That you'll get a lot of free, helpful nuggets. You'll get an experience to come and hang out with us. You can fly out, or we have our webinars for our every Wednesday. We do a free just mastermind talking about certain deals. Last night we did a fun mastermind talking about a real estate nightmare that happened. Like Khalid said, learn from our mistakes. I made a really big mistake recently, and I was like, I can't believe I did that. And now you got to learn all about it.
Yeah, it's important. And we all make mistakes. We don't get to avoid them. We're just trying to minimize them.
Right.
Yeah, for sure. Perfect. So they can check out your YouTube channel.
Mm-hmm.
You're all over social media.
Yep.
I know as well.
Yeah, Instagram, Facebook. Yep. All over.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Maeli, for being a part of the show today. Thank you to everybody for watching and listening to another episode of the Successful Women's TV show. And my name is Galit Ventura Rosen. See you next time. Bye.